Hey everyone, welcome back to Life Between Trips. So I was out here this morning trying to cook breakfast, and my Blackstone 22-inch griddle was not putting out a lot of flame. Now I've had this for about 2 years, and I've had this problem uh, pretty regularly to the point where I've even bought little wind guards. You can see those on the side there for both sides, thinking that the wind was causing my flames to not be as high. But I found out that the problem was my regulator. So I'm going to show you guys what I did in order to get the flames to come out a lot higher. And hopefully this helps you guys, because I was at the point where I was going to buy a new griddle. I was going to buy a new regulator, and that was a lot of money. And my wife helped me out. She went online, looked up some videos. So I figured, why not add a little bit of the tips that worked for us? So stand by for this. All right, guys. So normally when I hook up my propane tank to my Blackstone, I connect everything here, make sure it's nice and tight, and then I grab it and I open everything up, right? Because I want all the propane to come out. And then I usually hold this down for a little while, let the propane come in through the hose on this end, and then I will click it on. And there it is. So I don't know if you guys can see the flames. You probably can't see the flames. So I might have to do this at night so you can see a little bit better, but flames are on. It's on high heat. You can't really see the flames. And then I'll do this one, push it down, and then I'll click it on. And there you go. So we got some flames, but they're not really as high. And I found out that the reason why they're not as high is because this little sucker right here, the regulator, regulates the amount of propane that comes out. So because I have it turned all the way on, it's actually regulating how much comes up, and it lowers the amount of propane that's coming through the hose. So what I found out is I'll go ahead and leave this on. I'll turn this off all the way. And then I'll let it sit there for a little bit, just so that the propane can come out of the hose and burn off. Once the fire's off, yep, so fire's off. I'll go ahead and turn these back off, and then I'll grab the propane here, and I'll disconnect it, just let it breathe. And you guys can see this is clean. There's no debris in there. So I'll go ahead and grab this, hook it back up again. I usually like to thread it the reverse way, just so I can. Let me change hands here. I like to thread it. There you go, until it clicks, and then I'll thread it. All right, nice and tight. So now what I'll do is I'll crack this open just a hair, and you'll hear it click a little bit. And that is it. So now I'll push this back in. Give it a minute. As it's pushed in to let the propane come through. And I'll click it over and fire. And you can already tell the fire is it's pretty high. Came out really high just off the beginning. You can actually see the orange tips on the flames, where before you couldn't even see orange tips. It was just the low blue. So that is a trick. And believe me, I'm glad my wife found that video, because I was already on Amazon looking for a new regulator when she mentioned it. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Oh, wait, it didn't turn on. Let's try it again. There, there you go. There you go. Yep. So it's on. Yeah. So I was already on Amazon, ready to buy a new regulator hose, and I almost bought a new grill. So the fact that she found that video was very helpful. So I figured I'd throw it out there for you guys. So if you're following the channel, you also get that tip. Again, Blackstone I was I was at my wit's end. Again, I even bought the little wind guards over there, and they're on both sides, and I even have them on the back side. But I think my problem was the fact that I was opening the valve on this thing way too hard. So, just a tip: all you need is to crack it just slightly open, and then go from there. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.